Cubs? Welcome or welcome back again. It's time to step into the lion's den. So today I'm going to be doing a reading on Stray Kids' Hyunjin, and we are going to be continuing on with our Stray Kids readings. I don't really know what I'm calling them, but basically we're just going to get deep and personal, I guess. And right now I'm just making sure all my cards are upright because I failed to do that before I started recording. But yeah, I wanted to continue on with the Stray Kids readings. I saw requests for it on YouTube. Shout out to them. But yeah, we're going to get into kind of who Hyunjin was before debut, allegedly. Remember, this is all alleged for entertainment purposes only. We do not know any of these idols personally, and I do not claim to know them personally, nor do I claim anything in my reading is fact. This is for entertainment. Okay, now that that's out of the way, we're going to see how the cards show he was before debut, and then I'm going to use my personality cards to see what are the things that the members love about his personality, and then what are the things that they don't like, the things that they may hate or dislike. Okay, so speaking of like, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. If you cannot support, of course, monetarily, please support by hitting that like button. I would love and appreciate it. These type of readings, you can find them all over my Patreon, and you can also purchase one or some for yourself or your favorite idol, celebrity, or group. Now, with that, all of that being said and out of the way, who was Hyunjin, or what was Hyunjin like before debut? What type of person was he like before debut? I also have another set of oracles on the sideline that I think I'm going to use for this reading as well. I'm going to incorporate them. This is enough. This is enough. This is enough. Before I even really look at these, let me pull some of these bad boys to further expound. I should have kept them flipped over, but that's alright because I'm not reading them yet. Okay. Let's see. What type of person was Hyunjin before debut? I don't know if these cards will help, but you know. I kind of want it to be pretty extensive. Come on now. Okay. What type of person was Hyunjin before debut? What was he like? What was he like? How would he be described? One more card, please. One more? No more? Okay. Alright. That's all that wants to come out of this deck. So I'll leave it alone. Alright, Cubs. Let's see what we have. So, we have unity, fairness, intellect, concealment, and poverty. I wonder what kind of background that Hyunjin may have. So it's talking about how Hyunjin, at least before debut, or who the type of person that he was someone who tried to kind of get people to get along. Now that is kind of, I guess, opposite of what I would expect, since I do know that back in the day, at least, him and Ha used to go at it. But again, this is before. When I meant before debut, I mean before kind of getting involved with Stray Kids. So, it seemed like he was a person who kind of liked to have unity and was trying to be a decent person in society. I am seeing that one way or another he was intelligent. So even if it's not like book smart, he was a very talented person. He had a lot of intellect in a lot of places. So it could be, He could have been studious. He could have had a lot of talents. He could have just been a very gifted person. But it also seems like there was a big secret that he was hiding. I don't know anything about Stray Kids personally. I know, although I know all the members, my bias is Changbin, and I'm pretty much Changbin biased. Almost a solo stand, pretty much. Because I know he's just the only one I'm really interested in. But yeah, I don't. Let me know if Hyunjin comes from a rich family, because it seems like he's showing, or at least the cards are showing me, that he actually did not grow up in a very financially stable environment. Like, he wanted to hide. He was trying to hide that he was not actually that well off. Okay. We have the Black Cat and the Dagger. It says your luck will soon change and conflict and danger and wait. So it does seem like there was a change in Hyunjin from the past. Where he came from trying to be a good person, trying to be a fair person, very smart, talented, all of that. But he was, like I said, it's showing me that he was struggling with some form of financial issues, be it his parents or household not having enough money, or maybe he did not have what he needed to pursue what he wanted to do at the time. But there is some sense of poverty going on, or just not having enough to sustain himself. Also, it does seem like before he may have been fighting for a change, a specific change in his life. Okay? Now, I do see that there were some issues that he did run into in his past. And it was, it could have been a physical issue. We have stuck, female, mind, addiction, commitment, purity, and words of truth. I don't even know. I guess Hyunjin may have also had a girl that he was with back before debut. And this was someone he may have been with for a long time, or someone that he was really into or committed to back when he was more innocent. Someone he definitely confessed to. I don't know if they accepted, though. But I definitely am seeing a innocent confession to someone, and kind of just him being loyal to that person, whether they dated or not. So far I'm seeing a very pure soul coming from Hyunjin, at least pre-debut, before Stray Kids. But I'm definitely seeing that there was this kind of warning of this change that does happen to Hyunjin, or will happen. Yeah, does happen to Hyunjin. Okay. So yeah, very sweet boy. He definitely was hiding his personal issues, though, which most people would. Because y'all don't need to be all up in his business. Y'all don't need to know how much money he got. I don't blame him. Okay. So now I'm going to get to the nitty gritty, the part that everybody really wanted to get into, which is his positive and negative traits. Okay, I think everything's upright. So on my left, I'm going to have the things that Stray Kids view positively about Hyunjin, and then on my right is going to be the negative things that they... So it doesn't matter if they're upright or in reverse. I'm going to be reading according to what side they land on, or just how it comes to me, So all right. So what are the what does Stray Kids like the most about Hyunjin's personality? What do they like the most about Hyunjin's personality? What do Stray Kids like the most about Hyunjin's personality? Alright, what do they dislike about Hyunjin's personality? What is their least favorite thing about Hyunjin? What do they dislike? Okay, that's enough. That's too much. Okay. So we have the Saboteur. It says, this is in what they like about him. Highlights your fear of self-empowerment and the change it would bring to your life. So it seems like there may be issues with Hyunjin not, I guess, going the extra mile or afraid of it, but he's also very good at opening up and saying, hey, like, I'm very nervous about this. This is going to be really difficult for me. So yeah, I know I may be sabotaging myself by not taking this opportunity, but I'm not at a state to do this. Like, he's kind of like open with them, or at least with some of them, about how he's feeling or why he made a decision, and can recognize that he may be harming his own career in some ways by not having that extra courage to just kind of step out and do something new, or go out on the ledge and try something that was offered to him. But he does grow from it, so well, so in the lighter attribute, prostitute says, accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating power of your spirit. Well, I'm gonna, okay. Hyunjin is able to accomplish a lot of goals, and like how I was saying with Saboteur before, like, he can admit that he, like, when he doesn't take an extra step or doesn't go out on a limb to do something, it's because he may have a fear, or, you know, there's something that's making him uncomfortable or nervous, and he's able to make those changes eventually on his own time, and, you know, go on to excel in life. And this other card is accentuating on that, and that there are, he's able to kind of put his fears and everything behind him and go out and do what he needs to do without feeling less of himself, and without feeling, without absorbing any negative energy people want to throw his way. We have Child Magical. It says, seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, the belief that everything is possible. So they really like his innocence. They really like his idealism. They really like the way he approaches life. There is something very cutely magical about Hyunjin. There may also be an innocence in him, in the way he wants to see the world, and how he views the world, and that is very charming to the rest of Stray Kids. And then last we have Father. It says, talent for creating and supporting life, positive guiding light within a tribal unit. So Hyunjin does offer a nice, beautiful energy to Stray Kids, and he can be a source of comfort and protection to those around him as well. Now we're going to go for the negative. We have Martyr. It says, addiction to self-pity. So just as much as I was saying over here with him finding things that, like, you know, not being able to do certain things because he has issues with them, it does seem like, from the Stray Kids' point of view, there's also times where they allegedly feel like he's kind of doing too much. Like, milking things for more attention, you know. So there can be times where it's like they're like, okay, can you not cry about this? Can you not, you know, complain about this? They can get irritated with that after a minute. We have Seeker. It says inability to commit to a path once found. Again, like I said, there seems to be surprisingly a lot of insecurities within Hyunjin that I'm surprised to see. But it does seem like there is a lot of fear within Hyunjin, and a fear of commitment, and a fear to proceed on, especially I want to say by himself. I feel like he's scared to be alone. And it's funny because I think he is like a loner. Isn't he a loner? Like, y'all let me know. Isn't he pretty much one of their main loners? Is always by himself? Interesting. Okay, y'all let me know. The next we have is Night. Again, these are all in negative, so I'm reading the negative side. It says allegiance to a destructive ruler or principle, romantic delusions. They don't like the way he handles. This may get a little grown because I'm trying to not make it that way. But seeing the way these cards are coming out, there is the adult side to Stray Kids that I know, like, a lot of people are gonna not want to hear, because a lot of people don't believe that these are grown adult men. But I'm gonna try to censor this. I have been censoring it. I'm gonna try to censor it in a way that's more palatable. They're not fond of the company that Hyunjin keeps. They don't like the way Hyunjin handles his romantic life. They don't like the company that he keeps. They don't like the things that he does for love. We have Virgin, and this is the negative. Again, like I was saying about Hyunjin being afraid of commitments, this is also a fear of intimate union. So there is a part of Hyunjin that is very scared to let himself be completely vulnerable to someone that he loves. There's still he still has a lot of self-doubt, a lot of issues with insecurities, a lot of shyness, and he can be a bit standoffish. Again, this is something that's strange to me because I've seen him be pretty intimate, but I guess this is, again, on a different personal level that only Stray Kids know, that he is kind of closed off. You see how this person has their arms crossed around their body, like Hyunjin may have a habit of shielding himself from letting people get too close to him. Hero and heroine, it says escapism and a false sense of heroism. So it's like, I almost feel like there are some things on the positive that, again, on bad days can lean a lot more towards the negative. Of course, people are very, people have a lot of stuff going on with them. So they're not like one-sided, okay? But yeah, Hyunjin, it's still talking about Hyunjin running away. Hyunjin will run away. Hyunjin hides. Hyunjin, allegedly for entertainment purposes only. There's like escapism, where he may lock himself away in his room and won't come out, and doesn't want to talk to people. That's probably also where the fear of intimate union comes in. It's like very closed off, doesn't allow people in. And at the same time, there is this sense of I don't want to say like superiority, because it's not superiority. It's not that. It's like, I don't know. It's like kind of like Hyunjin will close himself off for such long periods of time and then come back and still feel like their relationships are on a certain level, a certain status level, where they're kind of like, I haven't seen you in months and we live in the same house. Like, no, we're not as close as we could have been. There's that kind of energy. We have Exorcist. It says fear of facing your own demons. And so, again, it seems like from the Stray Kids side of negativity, they're like, hey, like, again, just like Saboteur, it's like, hey, like we're telling you about the other things that you don't acknowledge that you need to change or you need to work on. And from their side, they don't see Hyunjin putting in enough energy to fix the things that they're trying to tell him about. Like, they try to tell him about himself for certain things, and they're like, you need to work on that. And Hyunjin is very scared to work on these certain things, and I don't know what the certain things are. But again, I do know there lies commitments, opening up to them, and just, I don't know, there's more to this. But yeah, there are things that the rest of the Stray Kids member try to tell Hyunjin about. He's not listening to them. He won't listen to them. He doesn't change the way he is. And I'm starting to think that though we start off with the Saboteur, and I was talking about he'll admit things where he feels like he's not doing too well, or he's not accepting or moving on and growing because he has these fears, right? But I was saying that he can overcome them. On this end, they're like, yeah, he does, but those small jumps that he makes to overcome them, he kind of gasses those up. Like, I don't think you should be mad at anybody for being proud of their steps that they take to grow. But from over here, it's kind of looking like it's not that big of a deal. You did that one thing, and now you're swearing you're like, you are so good at picking yourself up and so good at growing, and so like you're now supposed to be praised as the person who overcame, and you only did that one thing. So there is that sort of weird energy over here where they're like, you did not do that much for you to be celebrating this hard, because we've still been telling you about all of these other problems, and you keep running from them or focusing on the least hard hurdle and trying to celebrate that as if that's going to block out the other things we've been telling you to work on. That's the energy here. We have Poet. It says turn, now this is, again, all negative. This is turns a lyrical gift into a negative or destructive effect. Turns a lyric gift into a negative or a destructive effect. So there may be some of his art that may be a bit morbid for them. So I'm not sure, again, how, what's going on with Hyunjin. But it does seem like, I'm going to put it this way, I feel like there's some of his art that kind of comes off as disturbing to the members. So there may be, some art that he creates and they're like, ooh, this is really scary. This is really scary. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what that is, but they're not feeling it, okay? I'm not one for trying to control how people express themselves. So, I mean, if Hyunjin wants to create some darker imagery, that's on him, that's how he expresses himself. But whatever it is that he makes, that he writes, that he paints, whatever it is, there are some things that the rest of the Stray Kids members are like, we don't like that. That's disturbing. That needs to change. That needs, you have a gift and you're using it in a way that is very unpleasant. So y'all let me know what y'all think it is. But yeah. And last we have Bully. It says conceals deep fears behind verbal or physical abuse. So there are times, allegedly for entertainment purposes only, where Hyunjin can lash out. And it's not a fun time for them. It's not a fun time for them. So he got a lot going on. Hyunjin has a lot going on. And I guess that's what also probably makes it a little bit harder for them, because most of the time he'll probably lock himself away. And then when he comes out, it's like small. It's like, how do I put it? The few times that he does come out to kind of integrate with the rest of them, he's still a little more standoffish or shy, or can potentially be very aggressive, or, you know, potentially make things very unpleasant for those around him. So it's a lot going on. I want y'all to let me know what y'all think, what y'all see, how do y'all, like, what, I don't know nothing about Hyunjin, so just let me know what y'all think this is pertaining to, what some of the cards may be pertaining to, because I find it interesting. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end this here. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. And I hope to see you all again next time in the Lion's Den. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said before, check out my Patreon if you want to see more readings like this. I'm going to continue on the Stray Kids route and see what all we get from here.